What is up, all you minties? This is the Uncanny Omar from Near Mint Condition, and today join me as I do an overview of the Boys Omnibus editions, volumes 4, 5, and 6 from Dynamite. So please stay tuned. And welcome back, everybody. Now, before I get started, I want to give a huge thank you to Vincent Faust for sending us copies of these books right here so we can do an overview. I've done an overview of volumes 1, 2, and 3 of these Omnis. Volume 1 had Butcher, Volume 2 had Huey, and then Volume 3 had Mother's Milk. And in this round, we have Volume 4, the cover is the female, Volume 5 is the Frenchman, and then we have the whole gang for Volume 6, which wraps up the entire series. If you can look back here, they were previously released. Pretty much everything you get in here was previously released in these definitive editions. But most of these definitive editions are completely out of print. They're the size of absolutes, and there's a total of 6 of them. Here's Volume 5, and then Volume 6. But let's crack these open and see what these are about. So here we have Volume 4, collecting The Boys 39 through 47, and then the 6-issue miniseries, Highland Laddie. Now, The Boys has been turned into a Netflix series, but this is what the Netflix series is originally based on. It's written by Garth Ennis, and I'm sure you've probably heard me go on about Garth Ennis when I was talking about my favorite Vertigo titles. But just in case, he's written Preacher, he's written Hellblazer, he has written The Punisher for Marvel Comics, and he has his own unique, brutal, and violent style. We'll just leave it at that. So there's a lot of grotesque things that happen within the pages of The Boys, much like the pages of Preacher, Hellblazer, Fury, but he kind of does his own thing here. He is able to write the story that he wants to without limitations. So The Boys was originally published by DC, but then DC decided, you know, this isn't for us. Luckily, Dynamite picked up the series, and Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson, because he co-created the series, were able to tell their story the way they wanted to. So let's look at this book. This is Volume 4. Let's look at the extras in the back while I talk about the page count. It has 328 pages, and like I said, it's pretty much the exact same content as those definitive editions. I'm going to do a size comparison here in a second, but it's got the exact same content, including the extras in the back, like the script, the uncolored pages. A couple of them have, like, let me see, I can't show that. But they have character designs. This is John McCrae's character designs because he takes over the book for a little while Derek Robertson focuses on other things. But Derek Robertson does come back from time to time. Now, let's look at the next volume. We're going to look at Volume 5. But one thing I wanted to show you all is that they do have the word omnibus on them. But these are softcover. And also, they are as tall and as long as a standard size trade paperback. So that's one thing to keep in mind. They're not in hardcover like you're used to seeing when you see the words omnibus. Now let's look at Volume 5. So here we have The Frenchman. By the way, each of these books is $29.99, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you, they are rated mature, each one of these. Like I mentioned, it's violent, it's brutal. And in the back of each of these, they tell you what's collected inside. So for example, this collects The Boys 48 through 59. The Boys Butcher, Baker, Candlestick Maker 1 through 6, and then stories from here. And it's got bonus material. So this is Volume 5 with The Frenchman on the cover. So in case you don't know what the boys are or who the boys are, it's pretty much set in the world. I assume it takes place during the time these books were written, so probably 2005 to 2008, where superheroes are real. But superheroes have almost like a superstar status to them. They all think they're celebrities, and then they also do reckless things that causes the attention of this clandestine group of people to go after them and start putting them in their places, even if it means killing them or just doing horrible things to them, and that is the Boys. They're all led by Billy Butcher and Huey, and they're all, well, I'm not going to spoil anything. They're all normal people that have come together with one agenda, and that is to take down these superheroes. So I gotta be careful when I'm flipping through here because not only is there a lot of violence and gore in the books, but there's also a lot of nudity and sexual content. So keep that in mind. So as I'm flipping through here, I gotta be careful when I'm editing what to leave out. Again, the extras in the back. This particular volume has 420 pages of The Boys. A lot of cover ideas and sketches. So Derek Robertson, like I said, even though he takes off for a little bit, he does come back from time to time and then ends up finishing out the run. So here's the final volume. This is the one I have to be careful in flipping. Collecting issues 60 through 72, volume 6. Each one of them has the little logo now, as seen in The Boys on Amazon Prime. But this collects, issues 60 to 72. Then a couple of the little stories in the back. So I can't flip too much through here because this is literally the ending. This particular volume contains 320 pages and finishes out the story of The Boys. So, does the female ever talk? Only one way to find out. Who makes it out alive? I guess I'm gonna have to read it. Right? Which good guys turn bad, or which bad guys turn good. It's a really fun ride. And if you've enjoyed the TV show, maybe check out where the original source material is about. This was one of my favorite Garth Ennis series, and I'm so glad that Dynamite was able to pick it up and save it from the brink of extinction. Because if it wasn't for them, DC would have just let it die out. And I'm glad that Derek Robertson is one of my favorite artists ever since, I'm going to say it again, New Warriors. I love New Warriors, and ever since New Warriors, I have been following his work, and he has just become an amazing artist. Let's look in the back here for extra, since I don't want to spoil the final issue. Each of the books, by the way, has this thick, glossy paper. That's the format of them. And, really quick, they all are glued binding. Like most trade paperbacks, even though they're this thick, they all have glued binding. Can't even flip through too much of the extras because even the extras give away things, and I don't want to spoil this for anybody, so I'll just leave it at that. And one other thing that I will say, each one of the books has a variant cover, and it's the live action cover. So it's the character from the TV show version of the cover. Now, if you're interested in purchasing any of these books, check out our sponsor, cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off the cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. And check out their bargain bin for even greater deals up to 90% off cover price. And for you Minties, Cheap Graphic Novels is running a special promotion. If you're a first-time customer, let them know you were referred by Near Mint Condition at the checkout, and you'll receive a credit for free shipping on your next order. Now, this is only for U.S. customers. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. Now, that was the contents of each of these Omnis, the page count, and the build of them. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read The Boys before, if this is your first time reading it, what you thought about it, if you've been getting them in omnibus format, or if you're hoping for one day that they reprint the definitive editions. I would love to know all those comments down below. Please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. We put out videos every day. We can be found on Patreon and Redbubble, and all of that information is in the description down below. Those are great ways to support the channel if you can do so. And thank you to our existing patrons. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Thank you all for watching. Please, everybody, stay healthy, stay safe, and much love to you all.